faceless entertainment. Oh my, looks we have a fresh one this time. Hmm? Oh, hello there. I bet you're wondering what's going on. Oh, well, let me introduce myself. I am Colas Undertaker. I am I guess you can call me a man, even though I'm a spirit. How does a spirit run a morgue? Well, aren't we all spirits? Some more freer than others, that's all. I'm getting sidetracked. Well, it seems like you're my new intern. Just don't go insane on me like the last one. A good mind is an evil thing to waste. Anyway, let's get started, shall we? What do I do exactly? So impatient. I view the lives of the people that come into my morgue to properly record their lives. Do they get a second chance? What do I look like, a Grim Reaper? Don't, don't answer that. I categorize the special cases under my favorite records, called the Broken Ones, or just Break for short. Shall we start your internship? Lovely. I'll name him Vince Valentine. Yes, I love that name. It's so fitting. Lame. Don't interrupt me, unless you want to be fired. Vince was found backstage at a strip club at the age of 4 by a stripper named Cleo the Nile Smith. No one came for him for nearly a month before Cleo decided to adopt him. He lived like any normal child until Cleo was raped and murdered by her ex-boyfriend. Vince was hiding in the closet at the moment. He ran away in fear that he was going to be next. He was discovered hiding by a dumpster by an older man named Rallen. Rallen brought Vince up under his wing from that point on. On Vince's 14th birthday, Rallen asked him if he wanted to attend regular school or continue homeschooling whenever he wasn't working. Vince chose regular school so he could make his own friends. On his first day of school, Vince became very popular for his looks and kind heart. He was bullied plenty for looking prettier than the girls in his grade. But he found comfort in one teacher, Mr. Avens, and his 2 friends, Jason and Natalie. After his first year, Rallen decided to pick Vince and his friends up in person for an end-of-the-year celebration. At a hibachi's, Rallen noticed Vince had picked up a few of his bad habits. Vince had been flirting with the waitresses to try and get a free meal. Rallen talked him into not using his looks to get ahead in life. Vince agreed. Due to bad weather, Jason and Natalie stayed over Vince's house. In the middle of the night, Vince got out of bed to get a drink of cranberry juice. He saw Rallen's door open, but he wasn't in there. Vince wandered to the kitchen and then past the guest room on the way back upstairs. He heard a low sound coming from the room. Peeking into the room, he saw Natalie having sex with Rallen. Oh my. She must like older men. What do you mean I'm ruining the story? Fine, I'll stop commenting if you stop interrupting my thoughts. Do it again and you're fired. Now, where was I? Oh, right. Vince watched and couldn't help being aroused, impressed, and curious all at the same time.
Rallen can always get whatever he wanted, 'cause he was beautiful.
He thought to himself.
So, I should be able to do the same.
But then he heard something. Something he had never heard Rallen say. Vince stumbled into his room and laid in the bed next to Jason. Curious, Vince kissed the sleeping Jason. Jason started to stir and kicked Vince off the bed. There was a short silence before Jason realized what had just happened. Seeing the shock on Jason's face, Vince quickly bowed and apologized.
I'm sorry. I was curious. I was wondering if I did what Rallen did. Maybe someone would say that they love me too. Please don't hate me. I'll do anything.
Jason thought about it for a moment and repeated,
Anything?
Time passed. Rallen noticed that Vince had been acting strange around Jason. Rallen walked up to Jason and asked if they had had an argument. Jason simply smiled.
It's not my fault your son's a fag.
Rallen saw it as young teens being cruel, until he heard whispering as he was leaving.
That must be Vince's dad. No wonder Vince looks so girly.
You think? That would explain why Vince doesn't talk to any girls besides that whore, Natalie. I heard that Vince only likes guys because he was raped by his adopted dad and is sexually abused by his stepfather.
No way. I heard Vince uses his looks and sex to get good grades and favors. Outraged, Rallen really wanted to address this issue, but decided to wait until after work. Before leaving school, Mr. Avens asked to speak with Vince alone. Mr. Avens asked if the rumors were true. Of course, Vince denies them. Mr. Avens offers to take Vince home. Vince agrees, but wants to see his friends before they leave. Vince talks to Natalie about coming over. She declines and tells him that they can't be friends anymore, and runs off. Vince goes to Jason while he was at wrestling to see if he knew what was going on, only to be interrupted by the rest of the wrestling team wanting to talk to Vince in private. Rallen waited home impatiently. He heard the front door open and rushed out of his study to see Vince standing in the front room with Mr. Avens. Vince is sent to his room as the adults talk. Later, Rallen goes to the bathroom to see Vince coming out of the shower covered in bruises. Rallen insists Vince tell him where they came from. Vince refuses to answer. Rallen yells at him louder and louder, almost violently. Vince yells back,
They aren't bruises. They're love marks from people who actually love me.
Rallen chokes on his words as Vince runs into his room. Rallen grabbed his keys and left that night. After school the next day, Vince is stopped by Mr. Avens outside. Before going inside to talk to Mr. Avens, Vince thought he saw Rallen outside the school crying. He told himself it was just imagination. Mr. Avens asked about what happened last night. Vince was reluctant to answer.
He doesn't love you, does he, Vince?
Vince began to cry.
Don't worry, Vince. I'll make sure that you get plenty of love.
5 years later, Vince had grown his hair out and dyed it red. He works for Mr. Avens as a part-timer at a bar he works nights at.
Vince, you have a special order in the back waiting for you.
Okay.
Vince walks into the back room in the bar. Shirt unbuttoned, no shoes, easy tearaway pants, and a tie in his mouth.
You paid for an hour, huh? Pretty bold for a newcomer. So, what do you want done first?
I want my son back.
Rallen? No.
Vince! Vince had ran off the back door. Rallen ran after him, but was cut off by Mr. Avens. What did you do to him? What did you do to my son?
You made it too easy, porn star. You didn't love him like you loved everyone else, like you loved Natalie.
You bastard. What did you do? He could have been better than me. He had a bright future.
His future is bright. As long as he looks young and naive, he will bring me in even more money. Don't pretend like you wouldn't have done the same.
You got me arrested so you could sell him? You son of a...
There are cameras here. You hit me, and I'll get you arrested. Again. He belongs to me now.
Rallen ran past him, trying to catch up to Vince. He went back to his old home, distressed that he would never see Vince again. Rallen walked upstairs to see the old memories of the boy he used to know. He walked into the room and burst into tears. Vince had slit his wrist to write in blood on the wall.
Why didn't you love me?
Rallen took the knife and slit his own wrist. Before holding Vince's hand, he wrote on the wall, I always loved you. Well, that was beautiful. Almost enough to make me cry. Almost. What about Rallen? Oh, he's here too. I plan on burying them together. The loved and the lover. The protector and the pure. Well, that's enough for now. Don't be late for work tomorrow. Bye-bye!